Hey folks, and welcome to Solarcabin channel. Beautiful February 10th day. It's been almost like spring here, and I know the people back east are just getting slammed with some storms, and normally this time of year we would also have a lot of snow. We'd normally have a foot or two of snow here. This year's been extremely mild, which is really unusual for my area, but I'm not complaining. It's been really nice. Daytime temperatures have been up around the mid-40s. It's about 48 degrees today out here, and so I've been able to get outside early, actually start working on some projects. But what I wanted to show you is a really interesting project, a good project for your homesteads or houses that I put on actually in the fall before winter hit here, and something that I like to do every year because it really saves me a lot on heating costs for my cabin. You can see the project behind me. You can see I've got this plastic, which is just a 4 mil plastic that you can buy at any hardware store, and I've wrapped my porch in it. Okay. Now this porch is really important to me because it works 3 different ways. This porch in the summertime provides shade because this is on the south side, so it blocks the sun from going in through my windows and heating up this side of the house. So it actually acts like a natural air conditioner, keeps my cabin a lot cooler. I have my rocking chair in there and my little place where I can set my beer, and I've also got my barbecue and my tools and stuff in there. And in summertime I use this porch to sit out here and recreate and also work on my projects. So it's a summer porch most of the time. In the fall, I then just wrap it up with this 4mm plastic, and I use these cedar slats, which are just old fence boards that I keep around. I don't throw these away. Each year I reuse them. I just use these, and then up at the top and down at the bottom I just go along with the plastic. I fold the plastic up, put this against it, put some screws in here, and that attaches that plastic up around my porch. And then in the spring, when I don't need it anymore and it's warm enough, then I'll just unscrew those, wrap up the plastic, store it all away for next year. Whole cost of this thing maybe $20 in materials that I can usually reuse. I can usually get a couple of years out of the plastic, maybe 3 years even if you take care of it. I have a roll of that clear packaging tape, and if I get a split in it, as you can see, I've had a few splits here. I just go along. If I see a split, I just tear off a piece of tape and stick that on it, and it just works fine. It doesn't have to look pretty, and it's not a beautiful thing. It's not a great looking solarium, but let me tell you what it does. It's only about 48 degrees outside right now, but inside the porch at noon it was 84 degrees in there. It's like a greenhouse in that the sun goes through there, and then the air is heated and everything else in there adds to the heat, and it's collected inside that like a greenhouse. And then I can open up my door and all that heat just goes right inside the cabin. So during winter, if the sun's shining, during the daytime, I don't have to run my heater at all. I can heat it just with this Solarium Porch. Now this is 7 feet wide and 14 feet long, so it's not real big, but it's plenty big enough to collect all kinds of heat. And then that heat just goes inside my cabin. Now the other way I use this is in the wintertime. I like to come out and sit, but a lot of times the wind is blowing really hard through here, and so you can't sit comfortably on your porch while the wind's blowing on you. Well, I can come and sit inside that little greenhouse and be very comfortable, enjoying my coffee in the morning. It's nice and warm in there. It's also a great place. My dogs and my cats love to hang out in here. They're constantly in here. My cats practically live in there because it's nice and warm, and that's where I keep their food, and so they go in and they can stay warm during the winter. And I have outside cats. My dogs come in winter at night, but my cats are outside all the time, and so they come in there, and that's where they hang out, and that way I know they're staying healthy and safe and staying warm. So it works to help for that. Plus I do a lot of small wood projects. I've just been working on some box planters and some bird houses. I like to work on stuff in the winter, but I hate getting out in the snow and working in the tools and stuff like that. I can go in on my porch in the wintertime and I can work on my projects in there. So it serves a lot of purposes. Now come spring, I'll pull all these boards and the plastic down, wrap it all up, and then my porch will look nice. And I don't care who thinks it's ugly. What matters is it reduces my propane bills a lot. It gives me a nice place to hang out in winter so I can keep working on homestead projects. So that's what I want to point out to you. The other thing that it does is it blocks the wind. It acts like a vacuum door, okay, which you see on some businesses. It prevents the wind from coming in. So if I didn't have this up here and I open up my door, every time I open my door, the cold wind would blow right into my cabin, cools down the cabin, kicks on my furnace, so I end up spending a lot more on propane. With this there, and you can see it has a door, and what I use is I had this screen door from another project, and I just covered one side of that with plastic. And what that does is it blocks all the wind, so that wind doesn't go rushing into my cabin. So that also reduces my expenses. And I keep my generator, which I'll show you here when I take you inside it. I keep my generator on the porch. And if you've ever tried starting a generator in winter, you know you can pull your arm off trying to start a generator when it's cold. But because I keep it out here on the porch where it warms it up during the daytime, I can go out there and start that generator with just 1 or 2 pulls. So that saves wear and tear on the generator and a lot of time and effort on my part trying to get it started. So let's go inside the greenhouse now, and I'll just kind of show you what it looks like in there. Okay, so here I am on my solarium porch, and you can see my cats are in here. They just love being in here. It's nice and warm. So the plastic is just up on the inside, and you could do 2 layers of plastic if you want. You can put a second layer on the inside, but I haven't found that it's really necessary. I don't even care if there's some air leaks in here, which there is. You know, I don't have to seal this down because during the daytime, if it's above 40 degrees outside, it's 75, 80 degrees in here, and I don't want it any warmer than that. You know, it wouldn't be comfortable. So you can see the plastic just goes up and around the porch. That's all it is. And I've been working on some projects out here, so I kind of got a little bit of a mess, but I am getting organized. But you can see I got my generator out here, and what I do is I just open this door up, prop it open, and then that generator's on wheels, so I just roll it over there. That way the carbon monoxide doesn't build up inside here. All the exhaust goes out through the door. And then with just 1 or 2 pulls, I can run my generator anytime I want. And then I've also got my nice little place here with my rocking chairs. And, you know, I come out here and sit. It's beautiful even during the wintertime when it's real cold and windy outside. I can come out here and sit and have a cup of coffee and listen to the radio and feel like, you know, it's still summer outside because it's nice and bright in here too. The plastic also makes it really nice and bright. And you can see I've got my propane stored back in here. And I bring my propane tanks in, and that just runs through the wall into my house for my furnace and my stove. That allows me to keep the propane tanks out of the snow, and propane does flow a little bit better when it's warmer. So having it inside the porch here, the propane tanks stay just a little bit warmer and probably saves me a little bit on propane use that way. I don't have the problem with the regulators freezing up like I would if I just had them outside. So that's my solarium porch. You know, no big deal, and I didn't spend a lot of money for it. You can find your door, and I just used a couple of pressure-treated 2x4s on both sides for a frame. Okay, and then just a piece of cedar board above it up there, and then I covered the inside of the screen door with some plastic and made a little greenhouse in here. Okay, and I do this every winter now, and it really does save a lot on propane. So I hope you enjoyed this video, folks. You might want to try this. You do need a south-facing porch, and then just get you some plastic and some wood and some screws, attach it to it, and when it's nice and warm, open up your door or open up a window and just let that warm air come right on in there and warm up your cabin. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video on the Solarium Porch. Please do go by my website, www.simplesolarhomesteading.com. I got some really nice new designs on there for a stealth cabin and a cattail cabin that I think you'll like. Please like my videos and subscribe. Have a great day, everybody.